Welcome to The Joyful Life, the podcast for finding true happiness in every aspect of your life through spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental health. I'm your host, Anthony LaJoy, and thanks for joining us for another episode of exploration into personal success. Welcome to another episode of The Joyful Life podcast. This week, I wanted to bring front and center a little bit of awareness to mental health issues because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it dawned on me that maybe we don't understand enough about mental health disorders as we should as your average layperson on the street. So I read up a little bit on it, and I know for me, it really gave me some good insight, powerful insight. And so the next couple of weeks, I want to bring on a couple of folks who know a little bit more about it than I do, who are quite knowledgeable on it, so we can talk about it for you. But today I wanted to share a story. It's a very personal story about myself, and it took a little bit of time for me to think about this and decide that I wanted to share it because it's a very personal thing that I haven't ever really been comfortable talking about. But hopefully someone can draw from this and be inspired to be themselves and not be afraid. I have always struggled with a syndrome that's related to Tourette's, but it's tics. Many of you may have heard of it. Some of you maybe not. But it usually comes on in childhood before the age of 10, as it did with me. What it is people with tics, they'll make, when myself included, will make quick or sudden movements or sounds that are repeated. And these tics seem to have no reason, and they can't be controlled. It's not something we choose to have, right? Some people with tics, they aren't even aware that they do it. They typically affect the head and neck areas, again, as it did with me, but they can also affect other areas as well. For myself, it kind of moved into my arms, my hands, my shoulders. So if you know me personally, we've spent time, you may have seen some of this, some of these tics. They'll come and go, and they may resolve on their own, but for me, it never did. I remember it started probably around the age of 7 or 8, and that's a pretty common age for them to happen. But one type of tic disorder is a Tourette syndrome. That was not my case. I just had little jerking motions. So the first tics for me, as I said, they appeared when I was quite young, but I remember being very embarrassed by it because as a young kid, people kind of make fun of you, and it's nothing meant to be mean, but it can get inside your head. And as I grew older, they didn't go away. It was very helpful to have understanding parents and understanding siblings about it, but back when I was growing up, there wasn't a full understanding of this type of situation, this type of disorder. Probably wasn't until late high school, even into college, that I just kind of had a come to Jesus moment and realized that it doesn't make me bad in any way. It doesn't make me less of a person for the fact that I have a disorder. But one thing that I refused to do was to give myself an out and say that maybe I had a hard time studying due to tics, or I couldn't focus due to tics, because that was an issue, but I didn't want to give myself an excuse, because the way I saw it, I had a challenge, and that challenge could either make me or break me. So that's what I want to say to you, is that we all come from different backgrounds, we all have different situations, but whoever you are, whatever you deal with, it's not better than you. You are 100% better than it. So don't ever think of yourself as less of a person, is less worthy, less deserving, less anything. Nobody's perfect. We all have our struggles, and I do too. If you struggle with anything at all, it's okay. You don't have to be embarrassed by it. You don't need to hide in the shadows. You don't need to think that you're less than anybody else because you aren't. By nature, the fact that you were born, by nature, the fact that you are here, means that you're a miracle. And you are a complete and total work of art. There will never be another you. There could never be another you. And who you are is very specific. So utilize any challenges you have. and always look on the bright side. Always push forward. Know that there's a place for you. There's a place for you to inspire others. There's a place for you to help others. There's a place for you to understand others. And I think understanding is one of the biggest things that you can do nowadays. There's so many challenges we face. Doggone it. There's technology issues. There's mental issues. There's physical issues. There's monetary issues. Look around. You will find a problem to solve. Make others' lives better. You need to help others. You need to teach others and reach back to those who are in the depths of struggling with what you struggled with. Show them the way. Help them. And if you do that, you will not be sad. You will never look back with regret. You'll always look back with fulfillment. And you'll know that what you did was good because you tried your best. So until next time, stay happy, stay humble, stay joyful.